Hey, everybody, and welcome to Keeping It Young podcast, conversations about marriage, family, and ministry life. I'm Dave.
And I'm Bethlie.
And we are the Youngs.
Welcome back.
Hey, thank you guys for joining us this week.
Yes.
And this is a special program today. Mm-hmm. And I hope you'll all tune in next week. We want to tell you about our marriage. We're going to do a series on dating and marriage and how we helped our children through that process. So look forward to that.
Right. You said at the beginning of that, you're going to talk about our marriage. Are we going to talk about our marriage?
No, we're going to talk about marriage and dating.
There we go.
There
marriage
we go.
In general. But I was saying welcome back because we have been gone.
Well, that's true. We have been gone.
We have been gone. And so last week was, drum roll please, the best of the best.
Yes. And thank you guys for helping that to be so.
Yes, thank you. Mm-hmm.
But today's podcast is going to be a little bit unique in the sense that today's podcast is special. It is brought to you by Covenant Eyes.
Yes.
And it's unique in that it is sponsored by Covenant Eyes. And I know that many of you have heard us talk about Covenant Eyes. Mm-hmm. And on our podcasts and in our family conferences and in our teen camps, just about anywhere I preach, you would hear me talk about that and how important it is to us and to our family.
Yes.
And we want to protect ourselves and we want to protect our children from the negative effects of internet porn. And this Covenant Eyes app, this Covenant Eyes program is one of the very important tools that we use.
Yes.
So in this episode, we want to tell you why the porn issue is such a big deal. And also let you know why Covenant Eyes is an incredible asset in winning the battle.
Yes, and how it's helped our family.
And it has helped our family.
Yes.
So let's get started.
Okay.
And roll right in it. You know, if you are aware of anything at all much in life, that we are under attack in so many ways in this issue of purity and porn. And moms and dads, be aware that we are talking about these matters a little bit today. We're going to be wise, but if you have little ones or you're a little uncertain about where you're listening to us at, just be aware of where we're going with this.
Pop in those earbuds.
And let's talk a little bit about how these stats are against us. Every time I look up stats on where are we, what's going on, the stats are always against what we want for our homes and families.
Right.
And so read some of these. These here came from a professional forensic counseling firm in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
This is from Bethlie and Associates, and this was just one of the lists they had of recent stats that they have discovered. Read those to us, sweetheart.
They're a little bit shocking, at least to me. Obviously, we know that pornography is everywhere. You can't go outside of your house to the grocery store without seeing inappropriate images, but these statistics are just shocking.
Yeah, check these out.
93% of boys and 62% of girls are exposed to internet porn before the age of 18. 70% of boys have spent at least 30 consecutive minutes viewing pornography online, at least on one occasion.
And you know what's interesting about that is that pornography statistics indicate that in one sitting, many times in our generation, because of the internet, in one sitting, a young man or a young lady or anybody can see more porn in that one sitting that our previous generations could have seen often in an entire lifetime. And that part is very, very shocking. So here's a few more.
Sad. 35% of boys have been doing this on at least 10 occasions. 83% of boys have seen group sex online. 67% of children admit to cleaning their internet history to hide their online activity.
Or clearing their internet history.
79% of accidental exposures to internet pornography among children takes place in the home.
That's one of the reasons we're talking about this on our podcast.
Right.
If right under 80% of accident exposures, they weren't intending to, it was an accident, it takes place in the home. So moms and dads, make a note of that. That's very, very important.
Right. 56% of divorce cases involve one party having an obsession or an obsessive interest in online pornography. 12% of internet websites are pornographic, which is 25 million sites roughly. 2 of the top 100 sites are pornography. 40 million Americans regularly visit porn sites. 2.5 billion emails each day are pornographic. 25% of search engine requests each day are pornography related, which would be about 70 million per day. Only 3% of porn sites require age verification.
And make a note of that, mom and dad, because that also means that your children, there's nothing to hinder them.
Right.
only 3% would require an age verification, and even then they could lie.
Right, true. The average age of a child when they first see pornography is 11, and 70% of young men 18 to 24 visit pornography sites on at least a monthly basis.
And just remember, those are not from, those are from Bevel and Associates in Birmingham, Alabama. These are people that counsel teens quite frequently.
Right.
And research these matters. And here's a couple of more statistics that I found, and I did some research, so they do seem across the board. 75% of parents believe their children have never seen porn. But out of those parents who were interviewed for that stat, 53% of their children who were also interviewed reported that they actually had. So 3 out of 4 parents believe that their kids have never seen anything.
Right.
They would say, my kid's never seen that.
Right.
But half of that number, their children report
more than half, yes,
that they actually had.
Right.
And so what we would say is that, listen, stats are not on our side.
No.
The stats would seem to indicate that your children and my children are going to battle this issue, and it's an issue that is here to stay,
right,
and it's doing incredible damage to our homes and families.
It would be nice to think, no, my child would never.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that in a moment,
yes,
because that is a lie that's easy to believe. My
yes,
child would never. Remember that culture is not on our side. It is acceptable. It is talked about. It's laughed about. It's joked about.
Right.
And so no matter where your children are, whether they're homeschooled or Christian schooled or whatever, they are
yes,
surrounded by a culture that really will often joke inappropriately or even take steps towards exposing our children to things that are wrong. And certainly technology has increased this struggle exponentially.
Absolutely.
I read somewhere along the way that pornography is accessible, which is really nothing new because it's always been around.
Right.
In different forms, of course, but it's always been around. It's accessible. It is affordable in our generation because it is very free.
Right.
And with so many accesses on the internet, it's even made it more affordable
right,
than ever before. It is anonymous because with the prevalence of the devices we have, whether it's your kid's iPad or tablet, anything that connects to the internet, anything at all, or if they're with someone who has a device that's connected to the internet, it's
right,
accessible,
right,
it's affordable, it's anonymous. And moms and dads, here's something that Bethlie and I want you to know. It's also aggressive.
yes,
And this is where sometimes we as parents go wrong, because oftentimes we think, my child would never do that. And I'm going to say that maybe you're correct. It very well may be that your child would never want to see that, would never do that. But
right,
if your child has friends with internet access devices, if your friend has an internet access device themselves, if there's a computer in your house, if there's a television in your home, if your children are anywhere where there is a computer,
right,
they don't have to want to find it. They don't have to look it up. It will
right,
find them.
yes,
And that's why we say that porn is now aggressive. It's designed to find our children, and it's designed to find us as adults.
right,
And the reason we promote Covenant Eyes in our family is it's not just about our children, it's also about us.
yes,
Every device we own is protected and governed by the Covenant Eyes program.
right,
And we recommend the same thing for you. There's so many stories. This is coming to the end of what we call our summer.
Yes.
We're getting ready to, school starting back. So once school starts back, we change gears. Camps go to revivals and family conferences.
right,
But my summer's been filled with working with young people and families and all of
Yes.
that. And the stories just never end. Goodness, we could spend hours on this podcast talking about the stories, and they range. I could tell the story about the one boy that came to a revival or was a youth conference, and
right,
he was battling homosexuality because he's 14 years old, but he first saw pornographic images involving homosexuality at the age of 4. He had no idea what he was seeing.
right,
He doesn't even have a vocabulary to go tell anybody.
right,
He wouldn't even know what to say if he went to tell somebody.
right,
But those images, once he knew where to find them, it was a curiosity matter. Obviously, there was no sexual arousal there. He's 4.
right,
But the curiosity followed him into his puberty and his adolescence, and now he's got a massive battle
right,
to where his mind is polluted with so many images he can't think clearly.
right,
And remember, moms and dads, that the point we're making here is that we need help. Covenant Eyes is one of the ways that we can help.
right. It can help. And what David had said about that young man when he first stumbled upon the pornography and he didn't know what he was seeing, that could be what could be happening in your home. I'm not saying it is, but we often will say, well, my child is 4 or 5 or 6. They would never look at anything like that. Well, if they stumble upon it, if you have no filters in place, or if you're not checking yourself as a parent and they stumble upon it, and like David said, they have no vocabulary to tell you what they saw. They only know that probably it made them feel guilty, but it also made them feel curious.
Sure.
And if you have a child who isn't going to be forthright with you anyway, and that subject doesn't come up in your home, why would you talk to a 6-year-old about pornography? Then it could be something that just plants a little seed in their heart because they never get the help that they need.
Yes, so we've got to be aware that this is a real battle with real stories.
Yes.
And even this summer I met a young man, and I won't even mention where we were, but I met a young man who was very emotional following a service where I spoke about purity matters. Mm-hmm. And his whole story was that I don't like it, I don't want it part of my life, but now that I've seen it, I can't stop. Right. I'm always drawn back to it. Mm-hmm. And it's because, moms and dads, it is attached to our emotions. And we are taught that when a person views these pornographic images, it does release the chemicals in the brain that make you feel a high, the dopamine and things of that sort. Yes. And so when a kid is lonely, or he's tired, or she's hungry, or bored, mm-hmm. It's or maybe just even angry. That's another high emotion for teenagers. One of the ways they can feel better in the midst of all these emotions that are normal to adolescents is they stumble on this matter of looking at things online they shouldn't be looking at. Right. In fact, that no one should be looking at. Yes. And so we've got to be very aware of it. I even remember one revival where there was a 70-year-old man who pulled me aside and asked for prayer because he had discovered it on his devices and had become addicted. Mm-hmm. And he was very concerned about it. So there are so many stories.
We have heard of young people becoming addicted because of what they've seen on television, and what we would even say mainstream television these days, because you can stream anything into your home. And if there isn't some sort of parental control or filter on your television, I know I was just listening to an Audible book, but the author had mentioned that there are so many inappropriate and immoral television shows that are now
we're just surrounded, geared
towards, I would say, mostly towards women and young girls, because they have the auspices of being historically correct or historical fiction. Mm-hmm. And so that's something that actually would interest me. I would love to watch something that would be a historical fiction or based on something that actually happened in history. Sure. But you have to be so careful, because many of those shows have the sexual overtones, and sometimes just not even an overtone. Maybe it's just blatant
just
sexuality.
Something blatant that opens the door for our children to wonder.
Yes.
Or to be curious.
Yes.
Which opens the door then to turn to finding it, and the way everybody finds it now is on the internet.
Yes.
And so really there are many stories, and there are many steps we could take. And I suppose there are who knows how many options available to help our families, to help ourselves, to help our children, to win the battle against porn and its harmful influences.
Right.
As an affiliate of Covenant Eyes, that's the one we want to recommend to you.
Yes.
Covenant Eyes, we recommend to you today. And so let's take a few moments here.
Not just as an affiliate, as a user.
Yes. As a parent and as a mom and dad. And we've used it ourselves for how long have we had Covenant Eyes?
Oh, my. A long time. I don't even know.
All of our teenagers have had Covenant Eyes.
Right.
And we've had it before the teens.
Right.
It's been a part of our lives for a long time.
Very long time.
And here's what it's not. Let's talk about what it's not, what it is, how it helps, and how you can get it.
Okay.
So here's what it is not. Covenant Eyes is not, and listen very carefully, moms and dads, it is not a replacement for parental involvement. In other words, you don't just add it to your children's devices and, okay, praise God, there's no further issues.
Go on your merry way, and we don't have to worry about this anymore.
The battle never works that way.
No.
It never, ever works that way. This is not a replacement for parental involvement. It's a tool in the arsenal to help your children to win over these cultural issues that are so damaging and devastating.
Right.
And along the same line, I guess the best way to say it is it's not a foolproof method.
Right.
I'm not sure there is one.
I don't think so.
Christian school teens are not exempt.
No.
I counsel them all the time. They're battling this stuff.
Yes.
Homeschool kids are not exempt. I counsel them too.
Right. Ministry kids.
And our public school kids are not exempt.
No.
It doesn't matter whether you are the strictest people in your church or the most unstrict people in your church.
Right. You have a lot of liberty.
Doesn't matter. There's no foolproof method.
No.
We need all the help we can get. And that's why for us, Covenant Eyes has been that tool.
Yes.
And that's why we want to recommend it to you. This is what it's not. Here's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It really is three things. It's a filter.
Right.
And moms and dads, if you download this on your app, you can set someone as a filter guardian who can set apps or filters rather for you.
Right.
And there's varying levels so that you can block all kinds of things. You can filter out all kinds of
right.
matters.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can set it fairly lightly to where most things are in, just the really bad stuff are out. But it's a filter.
Yes.
It's also an accountability program.
Yes.
And this is one Bethlie and I can testify about, because one of the things we like about this program is that it is a constant. What we do is, as allies, we are our children's allies. Bethlie is my ally. I'm
right.
her ally.
Yes.
It's not just interconnected in the family. We have other folks outside. I have several friends outside the family that are my allies as well. Mm-hmm. And the accountability program can be set for how often to provide the accountability, but it's usually either a weekly basis,
right,
every 3 days, or
mm-hmm.
every day.
Right.
And with our children, I do every day.
Mm-hmm.
So that every morning when I check email, I will have an email list about our children.
Right.
And it basically just is a report. This is kind of what they were looking at and what
mm-hmm.
time they were looking at it.
Right.
So you may see something that's a little bit questionable, but it was at 12:30 and we were all sitting at the table. Then that may tell you that maybe as we're all ending a meal and someone picks up a phone, that's not that big of a deal. But if you were to get an accountability that said at 11:45 in the evening after we'd all gone to bed, something was being looked at.
Right.
Maybe it was something innocent, but that's a red flag.
Right.
So I'm always looking for red flags, and those are opportunities to talk about something before it becomes a massive big deal.
Right. Yes.
And we don't react. We're like, I can't believe you. The idea is, hey, we've got to change this. We've got to alter that. We've got to correct this. We've got to
right.
deal with that. We've got to
mm-hmm.
talk about this. That's
yes.
the point of accountability.
Right.
And guys, I recommend that your wife get your accountability email.
Yes.
I recommend that you have a friend that gets your accountability email. If you're single,
mm-hmm.
we recommend Covenant Eyes to you, and you ought to have some allies, some friends, some accountability
right.
Built into your life. If you're a pastor, you need this program.
Right. And one of the things that is helpful, that your ally or your spouse is going to be getting
yes.
this readout of what you've been looking at on the internet. One of the things that is helpful for David and I in our relationship is that if we're going to be looking at something, if I need to order, let's say, some type of unmentionable apparel
yes.
online or whatever, I would say to David, hey, I need to look this up. It's probably going to flag it in Covenant Eyes. I just want you to know that I'm ordering
yes.
something.
And sometimes when I'm on the internet, something can show up and I'm like, not sure what that is or where that came from.
Right.
So I let Bethlie know you might get a report on that.
Right. And if he's traveling, he'll shoot me a text. Hey, this came up on my phone. I was not looking at it or whatever. It just popped
was
up.
An email I opened or
yes.
some such.
And so I just want you to know it's coming in Covenant
Sure.
Eyes. So that keeps us even more accountable because, once the email comes into your mailbox and you open it, then you can you can have quite a discussion
sure.
if it's not something that you've already discussed
and you should have
ahead
a discussion.
of time. Yes.
And it doesn't mean there's accusation, but it's a discussion
right.
to say what's happening here and what do we need to deal with.
Right.
So here's what Covenant Eyes is. It's a filter.
Yes.
It is an accountability program. And thirdly, it is a screen monitoring app. And here's how that works. And I really like this one.
Yes.
Covenant Eyes continually monitors what is showing up on the screen.
Yes.
It's not a violation of privacy. Number one, we buy it. We agree to it.
Right.
Number two, it's not used in any other way except to monitor is anything on the screen inappropriate in the
right.
pornographic sense.
Mm-hmm.
And if Covenant Eyes deems that something is inappropriate, it blurs it so that your purity is protected. Mm-hmm. And then it shows up in the accountability report as a questionable screenshot.
Right.
It shows the time, and then you can open up the app, and it'll show you the time it was looked at. Mm-hmm. It will de-blur it enough so you can get the idea, is this a big deal or not, mm-hmm. Without violating your own purity.
Right.
And it's a phenomenal program. It even shows you can even look up what websites were looked at around that time.
Right.
Is this something that happened for 2 seconds and mm-hmm. then it was never looked at and someone moved on?
Right.
Or is this something that is part of a 20-minute questionable series of websites?
Right.
moms and dads, single folks, pastors, staff, anybody can use Covenant Eyes.
Yes.
And I just think it's so, so valuable. So here, that's what it's not and what it is. And here's how it helps. And I think we've already covered that, but let's just draw it together. Covenant Eyes monitors the screen and sends a report to the allies.
Right.
A predetermined report that says, this may be questionable, check it out.
Right.
This looks questionable, check it out. And I know several months ago I got one from a friend of mine, and it said, this looks questionable, and it was blurry, but when I de-blurred it to look at it, it was a wrestling match.
Right.
And so obviously there was skin there because these two guys were wrestling or boxing or whatever in their shorts. So it looked like a whole lot of skin, but it was two guys beating each other up pretty badly. And
which may need its own filter. Who knows?
That was spoken like a lady there, gentlemen. Covenant Eyes monitors the screen, sends a report. That's how it helps. The report enables conversations.
Yes.
And it also enables interventions.
Yes.
Moms and dads, if you get that report, it's not a time to react and blow up and scream and yell and chop devices in little pieces. It's a time to step into your child's life and have a conversation and an intervention.
Yes.
And to walk with your children through these issues that are so prevalent and to teach them how to handle it, how to overcome it, how to win over it.
Right. And the report, like David had mentioned, will tell you time of day. It will tell you time spent.
It does.
And so those conversations can increase in, I don't want to say intensity, seriousness and soberness, depending on what had occurred. Yeah. One of the things that it's an encouraging thing. Because we get our 18-year-old, he still lives in our home, and I get his reports every day like David does, and it will show all the screenshots of the cool shoes he's looking at or the basketball things or the soccer things or whatever. And then at the very end of all of those screenshots, it will say, no concerning material. And
that is encouraging. It really
is. It is. I love to see that at the end. There's nothing concerning in his report. We can just move on.
So here's how it helps. It monitors the screen. It enables conversations and interventions, and it filters objectionable websites. You can even go to the app, and it provides, moms and dads, it provides detailed instructions on how to best filter objectionable websites based on the devices your family uses.
Right.
There's information about how to use your iPhone and extra steps you can take for special situations. It is just a full platform of information and tools to help you.
Right.
And it separates how to use the iPhone as opposed to how to use an Android, a MacBook, or an iPad.
Right.
All of those are absolutely important. So we're about out of time. As we close this special edition of our podcast, here are just a few suggestions.
Objections?
Not objections, suggestions. And first of all, I would just suggest consider purchasing Covenant Eyes. You can use it on all of your devices as a family.
Right.
Download it on everything. And when you do, use our promo code DNB Young. D as in David, stands for David in Bethlie, DNB.
Isn't that clever?
That's clever. DNB Young.
And romantic.
And very romantic. Sorry you're having to hear our little romantic moment here. So purchase Covenant Eyes, use the promo code DNB Young, and it'll help you to be accountable yourself and insist that your entire family uses it. Don't just buy it for the kids. Mom and dad model it.
Right.
You need protection. For one thing, your kid may pick up your phone.
True.
And if your phone will be accountable that way as well.
Well, and as we just did this whole series on diligently teaching your children the Word of God and knowing the Word of God yourself. And we emphasized over and over that if you are not an example to your children, that it will not matter what you're trying to teach them.
Not. So purchase Covenant Eyes, schedule some weekly check-in times, never stop fighting to win this battle against porn and its harmful effects.
Right.
And so thank you, covenanteyes.com, for letting us partner with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you'll check it out. And thanks for listening to our podcast, being a part of it. It's covenanteyes.com, and our promo code is DNB Young. Join us next week. We're going to be talking next week. We just had a wedding, Armette and Kareth just got married just a few weeks ago. And so join us next week, and we're going to talk with you. We've had several people say, what did y'all do about dating? And what did y'all do about marriage and help your kids? How did you help your kids? So we're going to talk about all of that. We're very excited about it. So join us and look forward to that. If we can help you in any way, keepingityoungpodcast.com. Send us a message.
Yes.
And we'll do our best to reply
Love
as soon
to hear
as possible.
from you.
Have a great day.
The Keeping It Young podcast is a Bax 5 Media production. All rights reserved.